This video is sponsored by BetterHelp, and if you want to know more information about today's sponsor, please head on over to the time index on screen. And a massive thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Well, hello indie people, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing okay today, because today is World Mental Health Day 2020. I wanted to make this video as a message for those who are autistic adults in particular, because I fully appreciate and understand that, you know, mental health in general is something that can often be very heavily stigmatized. People might not understand your point of view or, you know, disregard experiences. But the point of today is that we talk about our experiences, how we feel, what's going on inside. And for me, that's what I'm going to do today, because, you know, I want to be open and honest for people to maybe take something away from this video or to start on their route to recovery or just seeking help in some way, because mental health in autism is something that it does get talked about, but nowhere near enough. And the facts of the matter are really concerning. But just to give some of the facts on the situation, and all the facts will be listed down below for reference, 80% of autistic adults currently experience or have experienced mental health issues. There are 70 million people who live in the UK as a rough number, and according to the National Autistic Society, 1 in 100 people in the UK are on the autism spectrum. 1 in 100 of 70 million people is 700,000, and 80% of that 700,000 is over 500,000 people. And to think as well that more than half of autistic adults have experienced depression. But also, I think the main point that I wanted to make here, and I think this is something that is, well, it was baffling to me when I was reading about it. Autistic adults are 9 times more likely to consider suicide than the general population. I feel like it could be more than that. Especially because I know people who have thought about it and have gone through with it, who are on the spectrum. And I was one of those people who have considered it in the past. And I'm being genuinely truthful. It was something that I have had considered before, years ago, when I myself was going through mental health issues. You know, years ago I was feeling incredibly low, and my self-esteem has never been the best, even by today's standards. But even when my friends said, "Andy, you're a really great person, you know, you're good at this or good at that," I didn't see myself as worthy of anything. And even today, even when people say, "Andy, you do amazing work," or whatever, when I'm feeling just low and I kind of the same sorts of feelings that I did years ago, it's very hard to believe people. I find it incredibly difficult to believe people when they sing my praises, because being autistic, I do find it hard to accept praise anyway. But when I'm feeling low, I just don't believe it, which, you know, I think ultimately it's not a healthy mindset, but it's hard to get out of that mindset as well, you know, you may understand. But because I was feeling low and my self-esteem was through the floor, and just a mixture of multiple things going wrong, just additional pressures that I was experiencing at the time, and just different stresses from different situations, I turned to self-harm. And I'm not going to obviously talk about the methods, because I don't want to encourage it. You know, this video is, you know, obviously talking honestly, but I don't want to encourage people to self-harm. That's, it's not a healthy thing. It's really not, trust me. But with the self-harm, I didn't talk to anyone about it. I didn't tell my friends or my family. I didn't, seek professional advice until a few months after I, continued to do it. I kind of realized that, nothing was helping. Like, this method of, trying to figure out my problems was not actually helping my problems, that I started to talk to friends about it. Well, talk to a friend about it. And that led me on to talk to my practitioner about it. But I didn't talk about it for months because, for me, I find it really difficult to talk about my feelings a lot of the time, and I think this is something that a lot of autistic people can relate to. As autistic adults, it is difficult to talk about mental health. It is difficult to talk about how we're feeling because sometimes we may not understand our feelings. We might sit and ponder for hours upon hours trying to figure out, the one thing that it could be. But then when we actually try to come to explain it to our friends, our family, professionals, it's possible that they may not understand how we actually feel or misinterpret how we feel. And that is honestly what I thought at the time. Even though I had those mental health issues, and yes, I still do experience them from time to time, by talking to friends and family, like, I eventually found the courage to. And, seeking help if it's appropriate. In my case, it most certainly was. By talking to people, even if it's just one person, just having someone to talk to about how you feel and, what's going on here and, all of that stuff, it can really, really help. But I do feel that with my journey, having someone to talk to with the expertise would have just, helped things move along even more. Which is where today's sponsor of this video, BetterHelp, comes in. BetterHelp offers access to licensed, trained, experienced and accredited psychologists, marriage and family therapists, clinical social workers, board licensed professional counselors. Through BetterHelp's questionnaire, they are able to assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional, and you can start communicating with them in under 48 hours. BetterHelp is available worldwide, and in comparison to traditional offline counseling services, they offer affordable prices. So if this is something that you want to try out for yourself, take a look at, to take charge of your mental health, make sure you check out my link down below. Try betterhelp.com/indieandy. Try it out today, and a massive thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. So for me, when it comes to World Mental Health Day today, I'm going to be remembering where I had been, the struggles and, all of those thoughts that I had. I'm going to be thinking about, how lucky I was to have people to talk to and, be grateful for all of the amazing opportunities that I have had because I took that initial step of taking charge of, my situation and, finding the courage to talk to people or talk to someone about it. But also for me to say to any autistic adult out there who feels like their world's collapsing, who feels like the stuff that's going on in your mind, the thoughts that you have, people won't believe, or you feel so anxious that you can't leave the house, or whatever the case may be, if it's in regards to mental health, I hope that this video has at least helped you feel less alone. Even if our experiences are not the exact same experiences, I hope that it's helped you in some way recognize that, that another autistic person feels the same way that you do, or, it validates you, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're not being heard. And I want this video to be the starting point for you to find the courage to seek the help that you may need, whether it's talking to a friend or a family member, or seeking more professional advice, or checking out BetterHelp. But honestly, I do hope you have a really great day today. Make sure you look after yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you when I see you next. So until then, take care.